guys, it's Jenny here. I have to first apologize. I don't have a full face of makeup, and this was a spur of the minute video, so the background is just, no. And everything's kind of just off, but I just really wanted to film this video because of the nice weather outside. It's like, hallelujah. But, anyway, I had to retake this because the first video, some random caller interrupted, and when I looked back, 5 minutes of my first video was gone. And basically in this video is going to be my wrap-up reads for January and February, and my TBRs for March, my to be reads. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So the first book that I read I actually don't have with me because I had rented it out from the library, and that's Heartless by Marissa Meyer. Oh boy, this book, let me just tell you, was so good at first. But then the ending, I was just bawling my eyes out. But really, this book is a prequel to Alice in Wonderland, more like. It centers on a girl named Catherine Pinkerton, and she's the daughter of the Marquise and the Marchioness's daughter. So it's about this forbidden romance between her and the king's jester. The king fancies her, and they enter a courtship, but the king is just not someone she wants to be with. And so she enters a secret courtship with his jester, and it's all about their romance. And while she's trying to constantly please her mother, because she likes to bake, her passion is to bake, and she wants to open up a bakery of her own one day, but her mother does not approve. And so this story kind of centers on her trying to follow her passion whilst entering two courtships at the same time. And it was such a good story. While I was into it, it made me feel all the feels, and it left me crying at the end, to be brutally honest. There was just so many shocking points. I was like, what? And I was so angry, to be honest. I was so mad at the end, because I was flying through this book, and it was so good, but then at the end it ended so terribly, and I'm like, why would you write a book for it to end this way? But I do understand it, because it gives the title a purpose, and it just really centers on what made the Red Queen in Alice in Wonderland become the way she is. It's her story. It's the Red Queen's story, how she became so evil. You know, the off with his head. Yeah, that's her. It really gives you a new understanding to her character as a whole. And so I was kind of in a little bit of a reading slump after that, but not much, because then I found a book in my shelf that I had been wanting to read forever, and that is Queen of Hearts by Colleen. Let me just tell you, this book was so good. I flew through this book. Well, it is on the smaller side. It's, let's go see. I think it's 6 pages. But this book, I was kind of feeling in the Alice in Wonderland-y mood. So I found this and I picked it up and I'm like, wow, why didn't I read this before? And this is basically just about the Queen of Hearts. Her name, not the Queen of Hearts, but she's a Princess of Hearts. Her dad is the king, and her name's Dina, and she's still reeling from the death of her mother, whilst trying to please her father, who literally hates her. And she's destined to take the throne, but so many things are just thrown her way, and then she also feels like an evil lurking in Hearts, and she has to find out what it is before it comes for her. And I just have to say how pretty this cover is. I just love this cover, and then the back is just like, oh my god. And so I will read you the synopsis, because I don't nearly sum it up as good as the synopsis does. So it says, only queens with hearts can bleed. This is not the story of the wonderland we know. Alice has not fallen down a rabbit hole. There's no all-knowing cat with a taunting smile. This is a wonderland where beneath each smile lies a secret. Each tart comes with a demand, and only prisoners tell the truth. Dina is the princess who will one day reign over Wonderland. She has not yet seen the dark depths of her kingdom. She longs only for her father's approval and a future with the boy she loves. But when a betrayal breaks her heart and threatens her throne, she's launched into Wonderland's dangerous political game. Dina must stay one step ahead of her cunning enemies, or she'll lose not just her crown, but her head. Evil is brewing in Wonderland, and maybe, most frighteningly, I cannot say that word, in Dina herself. This is not a story of happily ever after. This is a story of the Queen of Hearts. And I can't say enough good things about this book. It throws you for so many twists and turns. It's just, oh my god, I just couldn't. Most of them aren't bad either. The first shocking plot twist comes within 4 chapters of the book. And it always keeps it going, and I cannot wait to go buy the second book, and it's out right now. So, yeah, those were the first 2 that I read, and then sue me, but I am a little bit stuck in 2013. I did not get into this book series when I was 13, but I had gotten a bunch of recommendations to read it, so finally I just hauled off and ordered it. I don't know if you just saw the corner there, but Twilight by Stephanie Meyer, not Marissa Meyer. I am still in a book slump over this series. I just enjoyed this so much. I usually hate the vampire werewolf, that kind of stuff. I usually despise it. I think it's cheesy and it's bad, but honestly, this story was amazing. I mean, I will admit the first book, there are some things that irked me about it. But, oh my god. Even the first movie, the actors were a little bit dramatic, but I can definitely tell you this is a good series. I found a way past the stereotypes, and now I cannot understand why everybody's saying that this series sucks, because if they had taken the time to read this, you would know that this series is amazing. I mean, I just love the story. I think I just really love Stephanie Meyer's writing. She did a brilliant job writing this, and it had me hooked every second of it. The first 3 books took me a day. I flew through a book a day, and these are 500-page books, I'm telling you. But Breaking Dawn took me 3 days because it's almost 800 pages. So, I read Twilight, and I bet you can guess what's coming next. I read New Moon, which, yes, I know, this one does not match, and it really irks me too, I know. I read New Moon very quickly too, but I will say that this is my least favorite one. It's just something about it I did not like, but what can I say, I read it anyway. And then next I read Eclipse. I thought this one was going to be my favorite one, and it was for a time being, until I read Breaking Dawn. But this was very good. I really enjoyed this, especially the end. But I'm sorry, I have to hand it to her. Breaking Dawn was just phenomenal. I love this book, and I love the movies too. The movies are literally perfect. They could not have done a better job filming Breaking Dawns. I love how they put it into 2 parts, because when you cram so much story into one movie, it kills it. Kind of like they did with Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. They totally ruined that movie because they crammed all 3 books into 80 minutes, and it was just so bad. But this book, I cannot recommend the Twilight Saga enough. If you haven't read it and you just read it, please just read it. Ignore the stereotypes, just read it. And I actually haven't finished this book yet, but I'm halfway through it, and we still have 5 days left in February. Is Perks of Being a Wallflower by Chbosky. And it basically follows this character named Charlie. And I kind of like it so far. I am liking it. I just don't like how it's in letter form. It's him writing letters to this random person, but I do like his story in general. I forgot the synopsis for Twilight. You all know what it's about anyway. It's about this human named Bella Swan who moves to Forks, Washington to live with her dad. It's rainy, it's dreary, she hates it. But then nobody's catching her eye. But then she sees the Cullens and she's immediately intrigued by them. And she just totally falls for Edward, and it's just all these books are just their journey together, and it is such an amazing read. So those were the books that I read for January and February. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Guys, this is Jenna here. Sorry for the darkness. I was editing one of my videos and I had to cut it off short because it was 20 minutes long, and I decided that I wanted to split it into 2 parts instead of just the one giant one. So it edited so that I didn't really end it, so I'm gonna end it now. So here it is. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe it.